Good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom and Hag Sameach. That means happy Passover to all of you watching at home, the kids, the parents, brothers, sisters, maybe even grandparents. It's great to be with all of you. I'm Rabbi Matt, and with me as always...
It's Miss Gail. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Sameach.
That's right. It's going to be the time for matzah pretty soon. Tasty matzah, plain matzah, egg matzah, which I think is better than plain matzah.
Whole wheat, too.
We're going to get in that holiday mood by singing the song Hag Sameach, which just means happy holiday. Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, and then the words after that, Shiru, 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 which means sing. Hag Sameach. So let's sing that together. Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. 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 Shiru, 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 Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. Shiru, 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 Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. Shiru, 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 Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. Shiru, 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 Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. Hag Sameach, Yai Lalai, Yai. And right below that, you'll find a Shabbos song, Bim Bam.
Bims and bombs ready. Get your bims and your
Shabbat
bombs.
Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bim. Shiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom,
Hey!
Shabbat Shalom,
Hey!
Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom,
Hey!
Shabbat Shalom,
Hey!
Shabbat 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 Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom.
Hey!
Shabbat, Shalom.
Hey!
Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bim. Biri, 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 bim. Bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. We're going to light those Shabbat candles. One of them for remembering Shabbat and one for observing Shabbat. You'll find the blessing right on the screen. The pressure's on with the match.
Try a new one.
Blessed is the match.
Everybody always feels pressure with me. Ay, 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 ay. What kind of box did they get there? Let's try this side. Oh my gosh. It's fun.
Oh!
Shabbat Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We thank you, God, for giving us mitzvot. These are special things that we can do to help us be thankful for the things and the people who make our lives nice. One of those mitzvot is lighting the 2 Shabbat candles.
Amen.
And now we're going to get ready as the virtual page flips for our call to prayer, saying we are ready to go with the words of the Baruch Hu, which means bless Adonai, bless God, who is blessed forever and ever. I'm going to face the ark for this one. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai yai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorah. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorah. Baruch Adonai Amevorah, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Amevorah, Leolam Va'ed. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai yai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Look at those happy little children singing "Open Up Our Eyes" as we prepare for the Shema, where we say, God is everywhere and God is one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Boy, have you noticed all of these wonderful things on our Shabbat table here? We've got a beautiful Seder plate with a cup, probably for Elijah. We open the door for Elijah during Passover Seder 1 and 2. A cup for Miriam. Miriam, the prophet, was said to bring water to the Jewish people when they were super thirsty in the desert. And we've got our haroset, kind of bricks and mortar mix, the signs of spring, the egg, the parsley, the super spicy horseradish. Raise your hand if you like horseradish. Yes, and the white is even spicier than the one with the beet, which makes it red. But you can actually get more spicy than that. I don't know if you've ever seen a horseradish root. Some people actually just slice it off and go to town. Probably our Texan in the back who's helping out with the slides. That's just the type of thing that Texans would do, and I would know because they're in for spicy food, and I lived there for quite a while. And finally, now I wouldn't have this on my plate because I'm vegetarian, but this is a shank bone, reminding us of the Passover offering. What I do at home is use a roasted beet, because basically you're roasting something, and you clean off the beet, you put it in the oven, and it's roasted. But now we're going to share a really good Passover story called the Passover Parrot. And I was just introduced to this great story just earlier this week, and it's about a family living in a brownstone in Brooklyn. That's where my mom's from, Brooklyn. That's where Miss Gail's from. That's where my grandmother was from as well, and my grandfather. I loved our brownstone house in Brooklyn. It had a large homey kitchen and lots of room upstairs. Best of all was the big backyard with the tall oak tree that shaded us from the summer sun. It's pretty rare to have a big backyard in Brooklyn. My brothers Joey and Saul and I loved to play there, especially in the springtime. One day our neighbor, Mrs. Brown, knocked on our door. "Good morning," Mama said. "What's that you're holding?" "Your parrot." "Yes, Mrs. Cohen. I'm moving. Wouldn't you like to keep him?" She noticed me tugging at Mama's skirt and pushed the cage into my hand. "For you, Lily, a present." And before Mama could say 7 children and a parrot, Mrs. Brown was gone. I jumped with such delight that I scared the parrot half to death. Mama shook her head. "More things to take care of," she grumbled. "I'll help you, Mama. You'll see." All the kids say that when a pet's gonna come. "You'll see, I'll help." It was shortly before Passover, and Mama was cleaning the house. Did any of you help clean the house? Removing all the chametz, the leavened food like bread we can't eat on the holiday. She began to refer to the parrot as that chametzidik bird, the bird of chametz. And before long, we all called him chametz, or chametz in Hebrew. Can you say the Manish Tanah, the 4 questions in Hebrew, Papa asked me a few days before the Seder? His smile seemed to say, "It's okay if you can't." But Joey was old enough to ask them in English, so I made up my mind to learn them in Hebrew. "Mama, will you listen to me say the Manish Tanah, the 4 questions?" I asked, but Mama was too busy. "Ask Joey to listen to you." I asked Joey. "Why me?" he said. "Ask Saul or Rachel or Franny." "Never mind," I replied. In the end, I chose chametz. He was never too busy to listen. In fact, he loved it when I practiced. I sang, and chametz repeated in his parrot squeaky voice. Oh boy. That's pretty good. Mikol halelot. I continued. Mikol halelot. Squeaked the parrot. Would Papa be surprised? I could hardly wait for the Seder. At last the day came. Danny, David, and Franny helped Mama in the kitchen. Rachel and Saul set the table. Joey, Becca, and I checked that everything was in order. That's what the Seder means, order of things. Haggadot, Joey asked. Check. Those are the Passover booklets. Haroset? He said, sampling some. Wine or grape juice? Enough for every cup, and Elijah's too, Papa called from the kitchen. The guests arrived all dressed up. After we admired the beautiful table, we took our places, and Papa began the Seder. He broke the middle matzah and put half back under the satin cover. He wrapped the other half in a napkin. "This is the afikomen," he said, putting it behind the pillow on his chair. "Whoever brings it to me after dinner will get a reward." We all smiled. Joey laughed. He had already taken the afikomen. "Here, Lily, hide it quickly," he whispered. I snatched the napkin with the afikomen and ran upstairs to my bedroom. As I slipped back into my seat, Papa called, "Quiet, everyone. Lily will ask the 4 questions." I stood on a chair and began to sing, "Manish Tanah halayla hazeh." And as I paused to take a breath, Hametz, who had been sitting quietly in his cage in the living room, repeated in a squeaky parrot voice, "Manish Tanah halayla hazeh." All eyes turned to Hametz. I tried to continue, "Mikol halelo," and the parrot squeaked right after me, "Mikol halelo." My brothers giggled. The guests laughed too. "Take the parrot up to the bedroom," Papa ordered. When I came back, I sang the 4 questions without a single mistake. The guests clapped and Papa smiled. With the sweet singing and delicious meal, I forgot about the parrot. At last, Papa called for the afikomen so we could finish the Seder. Joey, do you have it? No, Papa. Saul, do you have it? No, Papa. Lily? Yes, Papa. May I have the afikomen, please? I ran to my bedroom, but there was no afikomen. I looked under the table and under the bed. No afikomen, and there was no parrot either. The cage door was wide open, and chametz, or hummus, was gone. I sat down on the floor and began to cry. Papa sent Joey, and he searched too. Then came Saul. In a minute, he knew exactly what had happened. Follow me, he said. Joey and I followed him down the stairs, through the kitchen, and out the back door, into the yard. And there was chametz, perched on a branch of our tall oak tree, holding the afikomen tightly in his beak. Somebody has to climb the tree, Saul said. You better go, said Joey. I might tear my new pants. No, don't go, I said. Just let me talk to chametz. Then at the top of my lungs, I sang as loudly as I could. Ma nishana laila zeh. Chametz couldn't resist. He opened his beak and repeated, Ma nishana. And the afikomen dropped. Did Joey catch it? Did Saul? No, I caught it myself. Well, what was left of it. When I turned around, the whole family and all our guests were standing behind me, watching and clapping. As we returned to the house to finish the Passover Seder, we heard echoes of a squeaky voice singing Ma Nishtana. Chametz had flown quietly back through the window into the cage. Perched on one leg, he was practicing for the second night's Seder. What a story about the bird chametz, or hummetz, however you'd like to pronounce it. That was a fun story.
Mm-hmm. A PJ Library book, so maybe some of you at home, PJ Library books, you might have that one. So it's a great book.
All right, Gail, you want to lead us on the top of the children's blessing?
Yes. May God bless you and keep you every moment, every day. May God smile at you and fill your heart in every way. May God help you find the goodness in everything you do. May you be blessed with peace and love.
All right. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. And parents and grandparents, you can take a hand and put it on your child or children's shoulders, or atop their head if you'd like. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. What a nice blessing.
Beautiful tune.
So we've made Shabbat special with prayer and song, and now we're going to make it special with wine, or in this case, grape juice, and I'm assuming under that is our challah.
You guessed right.
All right. So we'll raise the glass and chant the blessing for the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. We say l'chaim, which means to life. And now we have a beautiful, soft, sweet-smelling challah that we're going to say, thank you, God, for bringing all this beautiful bread from the earth. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Now this is going to be fun, special Passover songs. One of my favorite Passover kid songs is the Frog Song.
Woohoo! I'll do the hand motions.
All right, ready? You got the hand motions all ready to go? One morning when Pharaoh woke up in his bed, there were frogs in his bed and frogs on his head. Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs were jumping everywhere. One morning when Pharaoh woke up in his bed, there were frogs and frogs on his head. Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs were jumping everywhere. And all throughout Passover we say, God has given us so many wonderful things, our family, the beautiful natural world, and very special things that God gave to the Israelites, to the Jewish people, bringing us out of Egypt to freedom, taking us to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, giving us Shabbat, our time of rest and wonder and joy, and bringing us to the land of Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel. And we say Dayenu, which means enough. It would have been enough. Die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, 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 die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. Ilu hotzi, hotzianu, hotzianu, mi mitzray, hotzianu, mi mitzray, Dayenu, da 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 da, die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, 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 die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. Natan, Natan lanu et Shabbat, Natan lanu et Shabbat, Daye, da-da-da-da, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu Natan, Natan lanu et Torah, Natan lanu et Torah, Dayenu, da-da-da-da, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Wow, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
And a happy and a healthy and a Zisen Pesach, which means a sweet Pesach. Now Ms. Gail's going to take it away with a matzah project of her own.
The matzah. This is whole wheat matzah. And I thought I would show you, although I'm sure you've made it in the past, but it's always fun and a real treat on Pesach, is some type of chocolate matzah or things to put on your matzah that makes it really fun. Butter's always good. Cream cheese I love. But sometimes it's good to put chocolate on your matzah. So sometimes I prepare in advance. So what I bought in Publix or Walmart, they have this. It's called Baker's Dipping Chocolate. And all you do is it's these little kind of coin-shaped chocolates, individual in the container. So I'm not sure if you ever bought it, but I melted it. So you kind of melt it for whatever the box says, not too much. You don't want it to burn. And it kind of gets very liquefied in the microwave. You can put it right in the microwave, and this is a microwavable container. Another trick that you can do to if you don't want to use the microwave or you want to quicker, this is sold in the fruit department of a Walmart or a Publix. It's a chocolate dip, so it's already melted. Okay? What I'm going to do is, let me show you what I have in these nice clear bowls. And I bought clear bowls for tonight so you could see what's in here. These white little flaky, smell so good. It's coconut flakes. In this one, I bet you know what this is back home. You know what these colorful sprinkles are that you put on ice cream, but we're going to try it on our matzah tonight. And then I thought, fruit is always good. Who doesn't like chocolate and strawberries? Well, maybe not, but I happen to like it. So I diced up some fresh strawberries. You're getting your fruit there. Another fruit is, what's delicious on chocolate, is dried cranberries. Dried cranberries are delicious with chocolate. Or any dried fruit. Apricots, dried pineapple, any kind of dried fruit is delicious dipped in chocolate. And what about if you're not alert, depending on the nut allergy, these are slivered or sliced almonds. That would be great too. And caramel. What about some caramel? Okay. What I didn't, you know what I should have brought? Maybe some of the parents at home might like it. Some sea salt. Think about some sea salt on the caramel on the matzah. Wouldn't that be delicious, right? I know, so think sea salt. I know, anything salted caramel is always delicious, especially with chocolate. So what you're going to do is you're going to either melt the chocolate that you purchased in the meltable chocolate, or the chocolate that is already a spread. So we'll do both. Now you could do an entire board of matzah. We call them boards or large crackers. Or what I did, I broke them in little corners, quarters, so I can show you different ones. But this is a full board of matzah. Which one should I try first? Let me hear it. Yeah, okay, the chocolate, the melted milk chocolate. This, I think, is more of a darker chocolate. Okay, I have some napkins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a plastic knife, and you can either use a knife or a spoon. And oh my gosh, look what's happening here. Look at the chocolate matzah. Oh my gosh, here's the chocolate matzah. And what should I try next? Should I try, how about some caramel on this? This is caramel you could put on ice cream or in some chocolate milk, or it's just a squeezable, and I'm pouring on some chocolate caramel, and then I'm going to take some slivered almonds, sprinkle, and maybe I'll take some sprinkles, and chocolate caramel almond sprinkled matzah. Can we say that tongue twister? Chocolate caramel almond sprinkled matzah. Delicious. The wonderful snack. Then I'm going to try to show you the chocolate dip. It's a little thicker, so it might be a little easier for your little hands to pick. Here is the chocolate spread. So it's a little thicker. You see it come very onto the knife. Now what should I try some strawberries? Chocolate and strawberries and coconut. So let's do how about we do the strawberries first? Chocolate strawberries. Oh my. So I cut these into, and you can help with your little hands if your mom or dad or aunt or relative or neighbor allows you to cut. This is a plastic knife, and you can learn to cut into little pieces. That's good learning your fine motor skills. Now I'm going to take some coconut. Chocolate, strawberries, and coconut. That's a good combination, right? Right? Good one, right? So here you have fresh fruit, the chocolate dip, and strawberries. Very good. Okay. Now, What you can do, I want to show you something what you can do, okay? Peanut butter is also great. Peanut butter, chocolate, and caramel. What if you took an entire board, okay? So you're listening out there, okay? And you put some chocolate all over the board. See, I'm spreading it just like you're painting with this plastic knife. And I'm putting it all over the board, but watch this. You watching? Okay. I'm putting it all over the board, this chocolate matzah. So this is a no-bake matzah chocolate, because I know I have like a recipe at home that you have to melt the sugar and pour it on the matzah and put it in the oven and take it out and and that's delicious. But this is a no-bake, really easy for you to do with the kiddos at home. And all this is sold at Walmart or Publix. So now I put it on the whole matzah. You can have it just like this. You can have it just with chocolate. Or, you listening? Or what you can do is maybe take some of the dried cranberries, and I'm using my fingers now because it's just me, but if you're working with some other people, use a plastic spoon or something. And I'm going to take this and put some cranberries, dried cranberries, and some dark chocolate. Okay? I'm going to make a little smorgasbord, a little mixture here. Then I'm going to take some slivered almonds and put it in the other corner. Okay? So here's my almonds. Then I'm going to take some coconut and I'm going to put it in the other corner. Okay. Doing this. Then I'm going to take some strawberries and I'm going to put in the other corner. So now you have everything on one matzah board. How cool is that? And then I'm going to take some sprinkles, just because I love sprinkles, and I'm going to sprinkle it all. And I'm going to take my caramel syrup and just do a swirl. There you have an entire board of matzah. This came from this chocolate that you didn't have to melt. This one is very quickly melted in your microwave. And I put almonds and cranberries. You can put anything you want that you like. You can even make matzah pizza. If anybody made, I love that on Passover. You take pasta sauce, sprinkle on mozzarella, and you bake it in cheese, and you bake it in the oven, and it's really a good dinner. With a salad, it's delicious dinner. So here I have strawberries. I have a whole combo here, a combo chocolate matzah. This is a really fun activity to do at home. You can even do this with cream cheese and vegetables. You can take carrots or celery, and you can take vegetables and put it on the cream cheese. So it's nice to kind of have fun with your matzah, because honestly, it's pretty bland without anything on it. I love you, matzah, but it's a pretty bland item without anything on it. So for dessert, maybe during your Seder. This would be really a good idea, actually. I'm thinking about this for Sunday night when I have Seder in my house. How about if you take, you know how we do ice cream sundae bars? Why don't you do a matzah topping bar? That's a good idea. I just thought of right now, looking at this table with all these little things. A matzah topping bar. You have your syrup or your chocolate, which is like the ice cream. And then you have toppings, syrup, sprinkles, and fruit. A matzah topping bar. How cute would that be for your Seder dessert? That would be a great idea. So this was a really fun evening with you. Passover is one of my favorite holidays, and I'm so glad it lasts for 8 days so we can celebrate all week and try all interesting Pesach customs and try all different Pesach recipes. There's so many if you go to reformjudaism.org, you will find everything you need to know for Pesach, and there is a link, PJ Library, Passover.org, tells you everything you need for your little ones to celebrate and understand the true, beautiful meaning of Passover, which is freedom. We were free from slaves in Egypt, and we came, and God brought us the gift of the land of Eretz Yisrael, land of Israel. So most of you have my cell phone. You can always text or call me if you have any questions on the recipes. But be creative and have fun. Basically, anything you create as a family is always delicious. Shabbat Shalom and Chag, Pesach, Passover, Sameach. Shalom. Okay. Funny, huh? It's not bad. Wait, I'm telling you. Oh, am I on? Am I on? I'm on. Matzah topping bar. Keep remembering that if you're going last minute shopping for your Seder tomorrow night. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.